All right. So, looking at our most recent assignment, our upcoming assignment is don't let your parents' disapproval derail your dreams. Let's try that again. Don't let your parents' disapproval derail your dreams. Lots of D's in there. This is a website. It is from the Harvard Business Review, which is a journal, but it is a website. So, looking at EasyBib, we're going to go to website itself. Okay, and take a minute for it to load up. While that's loading, I'll discuss a little bit about what's going on with um, this activity. So, it is going to talk about how parents can affect dreams negatively, how they can be overly supportive in the wrong way, or maybe that they're being overly supportive and it actually dissuades you from wanting to be successful in your dreams. Okay. Um, it actually goes through how to go through the conversation, how to have, how to be excited about what you're doing, how to tell them what you're excited about, and trying to convince them what's important to you, um, and also how they can support you because it's important that you um, defend yourself and also communicate your viewpoint. Now, it does say to resist defending and resist being anxious. So some of this does fall onto you as well of being responsible. Okay. If you have a dream, there is a way to hit it. Your parents are able to support you. You just have to make sure that you're also communicating that information. Um, it says, as it turns out, those were the last words he ever said to me as he died unexpectedly a few weeks later. This is from his father. He said, let's look looks like you're really doing it. You're making it your own. While they weren't the perfect words of affirmation, I clung to them knowing that though I never doubted that he loved me, I'd won back some important esteem in his eyes. Okay. I can tell you that a few years after my father expressed his disapproval, my career had begun to flourish, and those slightest specks of success were appearing. I was working in Europe and paying my own way home for Christmas. On a phone call shortly before Thanksgiving, he uttered those words to him. Those words have become profoundly significant since and have fundamentally shaped how I relate to my own children. Both of my kids made unorthodox choices after high school. After heading to college, my daughter chose to spend a year working in Ethiopia, and my son chose to try his hand in the workforce. My experience with my dad helped me find the appropriate role of support in those choices. I realized that the best thing to do was um, be their companion, not their judge, regardless of my feelings about their decisions. The relationship between parents and children is a lifelong study of what is most important in human connections. Through this relationship, we learn so much about how we relate to friends, colleagues, and life partners. More than any other formative experience, this relationship shapes the best and sometimes the worst in who we become as adults. It's messy, complicated, and sacred, and it deserves all the effort it takes to keep it strong, especially in the moments where that's hard. Okay. So he's essentially saying that even though things were difficult between his father, he learned from them. He was able to develop things to help his children out. Okay. And that he was able to then support them the way they needed to be supported. Notice, though, he's talking about graduates from high school. They're essentially adults or becoming adults. And that's when he's supporting them as a companion. I would imagine that what he's talking about up here is not about necessarily being their companion, but instead having those conversations with them and showing why it's important to make good, solid choices. Okay, so while reading this, keep that in mind because, again, remember the argument stays the same. Can a parent be too supportive? Um, can go too far in supporting a children's dreams? Okay, remember that the two claims are the opposite of each other. If you have the claim of parents cannot go too far in supporting their children's dreams, that's all right. Okay. Just know that the counterclaim would then be parents can go too far in supporting the children's dream. Okay. So looking at your MLA format, remember that we clicked on website. We're just waiting for it to load. You're going to create a manual citation. The first thing I know we're going to need is the title itself. Okay. So I'm going to copy the title and I can actually just paste it right on over, hopefully. Again, still just waiting for this to load. Looks like it's working. There it is. It's finalizing the website details. The title, again, is right here at the top. We know that the author is going to be Ron Carucci. We already see the date. Those are important things. We know that the Harvard Business Review is also important. Okay. We can't complete a citation. We haven't started. So we're still just waiting for it to load. Article title. So I can plug that in. Let's see if it'll just let me copy and paste. Don't let your parents' disapproval derail your dreams. Now, I remember from what we just saw, the guy's name was Ron Carucci. Remember to capitalize appropriately. By now, you should know how to do that. Okay, Ron Carucci. If you need help, it's right there for you. Okay, website title. Again, it's Harvard Business Review. Harvard Business Review. All right. Now we need to find the publishers or the sponsors. On websites, that can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes you can go all the way down to the bottom and it has the publishers there. Harvard Business Publishing, higher education. Harvard Business Review, Harvard Business School. There it is. Copyright 2021, Harvard Business School Publishing. That's your sponsor. Okay. Harvard Business School Publishing. Typically, it will have the sponsor will have the copyright next to it. Sometimes it will just have sponsor and actually have a list. It should make sense that it's a Harvard Business School Publishing because it is the Harvard Business Review. So it is the actual university and it's specifically the Harvard Business School. URL, our old Uncle Earl. Let's copy and paste the URL, which is just the actual full website title or full website listing. Okay. Once I've pasted that address, now it's there. And then your date, September 28th, 2020. So day 28, month September. Once it loads, there it is. September, and the year was 2020. Did not save the month for me. It still did not. It runs a little slow since I'm recording at the same time. It shouldn't run this slow for you. If it does, not a big deal. Now, if it has the time, specifically, remember that we do have to log the time. So let's just scan through real quick. See if we see the time. It wasn't at the top, so let's see if it's at the bottom. It is not, so we don't have to worry about the time this time. All right. Looks like everything else is pretty finished. Let's go ahead and complete the citation. Once you complete the citation, you may have to view a sponsored message. Okay. Again, I'm not going to have you sit through this sponsored message, but you may have to watch one. All right. It's not a big deal if you do. It's a whole lot easier to watch the message than it is to spend the money on it. So, again, once you get that information, you'll be able to copy it and paste it onto your actual bibliography area. Okay. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, just make sure you're reading through this, finding 3 pieces of evidence for each side. This will be the last article that we read. We will start writing our paper, doing our word web, our outline tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Just have a track meet today. So have a good day. Be good people. If not, fake it.